How's it going, YouTube? This is Zeke from Coyotemon Plays, and today I will be going over the deck list that I used to take me to second place at the Los Angeles Regionals this weekend. And that deck of choice was Ganon X. To start things off, we have 4 of the BT14 Bukamon. Until this last set, we ran the BT5 Sunomon, which gave us a generic plus 1k on our turn. It was good to get over certain hurdles, but now Bukamon allows us to gain jamming as long as they have no Digimon with equal to or more sources than we do. It's pretty easy to do in an X Anybody deck, so with that we can just swing away with all of our different unsuspends and it's a lot safer. Jumping into our rookies, we have 4 copies of Gabumon from Starter Deck 8. This Gabumon is a vanilla 2k for 3. But its all turns and heritable is while you have 8 or more cards in hand, this Digimon gets plus 1k DP. The all turns came up in so many different rounds during regionals because I got just to the right threshold to where they weren't able to kill me, specifically in the Shine Greymond matchup, which I'll talk about later. The next comes our best searcher in the deck, which is the BT5 Gabumon. On play, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck and add 1 card with Garurumon in name and 1 card with Omnimon in name, and then place the rest on the bottom. So the best thing about this is you get both, a Garuru and an Omni. To close off our rookies, it wouldn't be an X Anybody deck without 4 copies of Ganon X Anybody. Ganon X digivolves for 0 over Gabumon. It also has on play or when digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 card with Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, and 1 X Anybody among them to your hand, and place the rest on the bottom of your deck. So in this case, you get either the Garuru or the Omni, but you also get to pick up the option X Anybody, which is definitely needed for the deck. The rookie lineup is straightforward: 12 rookies for consistency, 2 for search, 1 for power. I wouldn't change anything about this rookie lineup currently. Yes, the EX1 is good for searching, Tamers out, and other Gabumons, but I'm only running 2 Tamers in the entire deck. So you'll see throughout the lineup why this is probably the best for my version of Garurumon. To kick off our level 4s, we'll start with 3 copies of BT5 Garurumon. Digivolves over a level 3 blue for 2, and it also has when digivolving, if this Digimon has Gabumon in its Digivolution cards, gain 1 memory. Additionally, all turns is an inheritable. If this card has Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, you get plus 1k. This is all turns, not just your turn. Our next level 4 is 3 copies of the Promo Garurumon. Promo Garurumon digivolves for 2 over a level 3 blue, and it has the inheritable of when attacking, if this Digimon has Garurumon in its name, trigger draw 1 from your deck. This is not once per turn, but do keep in mind it says Garurumon and not Garurumon or Omnimon, so you can only get this off if you're level 6 and lower. We'll close off our level 4s with 4 copies of Garurumon X Anybody. Digivolves for 2 over a level 3 blue, or for 0 over a Garurumon, and it has all turns when this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in its name and would be deleted in battle. You may trash 2 cards of the same level under this Digimon's Digivolution cards to prevent that deletion. So it's great for battle protection. I know we have jamming now, but you still need to prevent against battle in some situations. This is where I see my list differing the most from the traditional builds, because so many people run the 4-2 Promo Garuru favored split. But I'm here to tell you the BT5 Garurumon with that memory gain is actually 10 times better in this meta. If you have training and you pop that to digivolve into the Garurumon, you're actually gaining a memory instead of spending any for the Digivolution cost. Additionally, if you're against Mirage Galgamon, and you do not want to add cards to your hand, the Promo Garurumon's when attacking ability is not conditional. If you attack, you are going to cause cards to add to your hand, and if they have Mirage out, instantly you have the chance of passing your turn back over. So in both of my Mirage Galgamon matchups, I went for the BT5 over the Promo anytime it was in my hand. For non-X Anybody level 5s, we run 1 Promo Were Garurumon, 1 Were Garurumon Sagittarius mode, and then 2 of the BT7 Were Garurumon. The promo where Garurumon digivolves over level 4 for 3. It has, when attacking, once per turn, if Garurumon is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, unsuspend this Digimon. Additionally, its inheritable is while attacking, if you have 8 or more cards in hand, this Digimon gains security attack +1. Keep in mind that if it's just Garuru X and not Garurumon, you do not get that unsuspension. Then we have Where Garurumon Sagittarius mode. This digivolves for 3 over a blue level 4, or for 0 over a Where Garurumon. The name of this Digimon is also treated as Where Garurumon, so it works with our X Anybody card. And then, when digivolving, if you have a Tamer in play, return 2 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to their owner's hands. Additionally, it has the same inheritable as Garurumon X, whereas I can detach 2 Digimon of the same level from underneath to prevent the deletion of either a Garurumon or Omnimon card. Then we have Where Garurumon from BT7. This digivolves to 3 over a blue level 4, and it has on play, if you have a Tamer in play, gain 2 memory. If you don't have a Tamer in play, you may play 1 blue Tamer from this card from your hand without paying its memory cost. And lastly, it says, for its inheritable, your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, you may gain 1 memory. And we'll close off our level 5s with 4 copies of Where Garurumon X Anybody. This card digivolves for 3 over a blue level 4, or 0 from a card with Where Garurumon on its name, so all of our other level 5s. It has, when digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. Then, if there's a Where Garurumon or an X Anybody option in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon back to its owner's hand. With the promo being limited to 1, it's pretty obvious I wish I could play more. Let's be frank, that card is busted, it definitely needed to be limited. Even as a Garurumon stan, I know when a card needs to be limited. As far as the Sagittarius mode and the BT7 are concerned, the Sagittarius mode has an additional chance for me to clear board, so if I need to bounce 2 level 3s before bouncing the 4 in order to get rid of their lowest level, it gives me that opportunity. It only came up once as far as the bouncing is concerned. Typically, I just used it for extra card draw, or if I wasn't able to get the X Anybody Garurumon in the stack. As far as the BT7, this card definitely stole the show for the entire tournament. There were times where I actually passed over the promo for this card specifically because I needed it for a certain play. I only got the promo in, I think, 5 out of all my games for all 8 rounds played. So it's not like I high-rolled everybody. You had to use the BT7 in order to climb up smartly, so you can get all the way up into your level 6 and still maintain turn. With just 1 training and either a Cool Boy or a Hammer Spark in hand or play, you can make it all the way up from Rookie to level 6 and still maintain turn with this combo. You digivolve into the Gabu X or the Garuru X to gain the extra memory off the Cool Boy, or you play the Hammer Spark. If you're cracking the actual training, it should be done on the Garurumon from BT5. That way you can gain the extra memory there. It puts you to your total of 3 that you need. You digivolve into BT7, and then when you swing, you digivolve into the Where Garurumon X to gain that extra memory back. Go into your Ace for a net cost of 0, and then swing in, digivolve into your Metal X, and then it only costs 1, so you're still at 0 memory. It's still your turn with this climb. I did it in almost every single game that I went up against, from Rookie all the way up to level 6, and then I passed turn over with a level 7. It happened too many times to count at this point. You will never have me take it out of the blue version, BT7 over the EX1 every single chance I can. A lot of people argued for the card draw, but there were certain times where I had to digivolve in the back, and I went all the way up to the BT7 Where Garurumon, so I would have missed out on that when digivolving. Go ahead and draw your extra card. It's 1 additional card, and trust me, there's enough card draw in the deck. As far as the inheritables go, the unconditional when you unsuspend to gain the memory is so much better than if you have 8 or more cards in hand. Because what are you going to do after you ace? Occasionally you have to pitch 3, which will put you under that 8 threshold. So now when you're attacking with the EX1 Where Garurumon, you're no longer able to gain that memory. So at that point, the unsuspension would have been better anyway. Lastly, in the match against Shine Greymond, he put me to 1, I had a Cool Boy in play. I was able to use Hammer Spark to go up to 2, hard play the BT7 for 7 cost, gain back the 2 memory, and set him to his 3. In order for him to promote the Marcus and swing, he had to pay 1, which allowed me to ace and steal the turn back. There's so many different ways that you can use this one. It goes so much further than just another Evo card. To start off our megas, we have St2 Metal Garurumon. This Digimon digivolves for 4 over any level 5 blue Digimon, and it has when attacking, once per turn, unsuspend this Digimon. Next we have 2 copies of Metal Garurumon Ace from Starter Deck 16. This Digimon digivolves for 3 over a level 5 purple Digimon, or for 3 over a level 5 card with Garurumon in its name, regardless of color. It has the new Blast Digivolve mechanic. One of my Digimon may digivolve into this Digimon without paying its play cost, once an attack is declared, and once all of the when attacking effects have been resolved. It also has when digivolving, by trashing up to 3 cards in your hand, gain 1 memory for each card trashed. Lastly, it has when attacking, once per turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. The last level 6 is 3 copies of Metal Garurumon X Anybody. This Digimon digivolves over a level 5 for 4, or over any Metal Garurumon for 1. This does include the Ace. It has when digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon, and it gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. Then, your turn once per turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, if Metal Garurumon or the X Anybody option is in its Digivolution cards, return all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to their owner's hand. It's not a singular, it's all. I'll definitely discuss that when we talk about my Royal Knights matchup that I did. In the past, I never would have even considered the starter deck Metal Garurumon because of that play cost of 4. But now, with the introduction of training and the choice of mine to run the BT7, it actually makes a lot more sense. I'm able to reduce the cost down, digivolve, and then gain memory back whenever I unsuspend to possibly go even higher than what I need. Additionally, when going into my Omnimons, the Metal Garurumon Ace is a purple card. It cannot digivolve into any of my level 7s until I either go into the Metal Garurumon X, or if I digivolved from the starter deck. I needed a blue one, so it was either this or the EX1 Garuru, Metal Garuru. The problem with that one was I did not see enough on deletion Digimon for that one to actually make much of a dent. Yes, you do get the memory back on digivolve, but the unsuspension gave me that extra check that I was sometimes lacking because of the limit of the promo Wear Garurumon. For level 7s, we run the BT5 Omnimon, the Omnimon X Anybody from BT10, and the Omnimon Mirthful Mode. The BT5 Omnimon has when digivolving Blitz. It also unsuspends when digivolving. And then lastly, it says all turns when an opponent's effect would delete this Digimon or return it to the owner's hand or deck, I can prevent that deletion by trashing a level 6 Digimon from this Digimon's Digivolution cards. Omnimon X digivolves from a level 6 red or blue for 7, or from an Omnimon for 3. And it says, when digivolving with X Anybody in this Digivolution cards, you can reduce that cost by 2. So essentially, if you go over the Blitz Omnimon, it only costs 1 if you have the X Anybody in the evolution sources. When digivolving, return all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level to the bottom of their owner's decks. Additionally, when digivolving or when attacking once per turn, by placing one X Anybody option or one level 6 from this Digimon's Digivolution sources to the bottom of your deck, you can look at the opponent's security, take 1 card from their security, and trash it. So you get to see what's coming and actually trash that before swinging into the security so you can get safer checks. The last Digimon in the deck is Omnimon Merciful Mode. So this can digivolve over a red, blue, yellow, or green level 6 for 6, or any card whose name contains Omnimon for a cost of 3. And then it has when digivolving. For each card with Mega in their traits in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. then place 10 cards from the opponent's trash on the bottom of their deck in any order. So at max, I can get up to 4 deletions off with this if I have the Ace or the starter deck Metal Garuru. Then I have the Metal Garurumon X, the Omnimon X, and the Merciful Mode. The likelihood of that happening is probably not going to happen, but the primary use for this is the bottom decking of 10 cards from their trash. As I mentioned, it is so easy to climb all the way up to level 6 and still maintain turn. So if you're climbing up all the way to the Metal Garuru X, you get that additional swing because you unsuspended, and then if you have Omni and Omni X, you get an additional swing and a trash of their security. So it's easy to go from 4 security all the way down to game in just 1 Digivolve up. Additionally, as far as the Merciful Mode, I honestly did not play it a single time during the regionals. However, in local testing, I've noticed against Lugamon, it definitely comes in handy. If you see them climbing up, try your best not even to go for game, but just to clear out their trash and make it 10 times harder for them to do anything. I didn't go up against any Lugamons, but if I did, I was definitely ready for it. For Tamers, we're running 2 copies of the BT9 Cool Boy. Cool Boy costs 2 to play. It says on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with X Anybody and its traits, and 1 option with X Anybody and its traits among them to your hand, and place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Then, your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into the same level Digimon with X Anybody and its traits, you may suspend this Tamer to gain 1 memory and draw 1 card. To be honest, I hate Cool Boy. I really dislike this card. The amount of times, and actually in the finals, turn 1, play Cool Boy, bottom deck my Ace. It is so annoying. Yes, it allows for a lot more card draw, it allows for memory advantage, but at the end of the day, it bottom decks a lot more pieces than it's worth, and this card specifically is why you can't play the purple level 5 Garurumon. So if you attempt that, and you play out Cool Boy, you're probably going to bottom deck it, and there goes one of the 4 level 5s that a lot of people are actually running. As far as not running Davis, yet again, Davis will bottom deck your Ace. Yes, it's good to start you at 3 memory, but if you've noticed in most of the climbs that I'm talking about, I need minimal memory. If they put me to 1, I actually like to force my opponent to choke me to 1 every turn, just so that I can prove that I only need 1 memory to kill them. It's kind of an ego boost for me, but at the end of the day, it just proves how versatile this deck is, and how easy it is to climb from rookie all the way up. For options, we'll start with 3 copies of the card X Anybody. This option costs 0, and then while you have a Digimon in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. Security, gain 1 memory and add this card to your hand. And then main, place this card under one of your Digimon without an X Anybody and its Digivolution cards as the bottom of its Digivolution source. All turns, effects can't trash X Anybody and this Digimon's Digivolution cards. And lastly, when attacking, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with X Anybody and its traits from your hand for its Digivolution cost. Next, we run 2 copies of Hammer Spark. For a cost of 0, you get to gain 1 memory. And then out of security, you get to gain 2 memory. What's not to love? Next is the one of Ice Wall. Main, for a cost of 1, all of your opponent's Digimon gain, when attacking, lose 2 memory until the end of your opponent's turn. And out of security, you get to gain 2 memory. So this pretty much puts a stop to any aggression that your opponent has. Our last option is the 3 copies of the Mental Training. For a cost of 2, during your main, you reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, you add 1 blue card among them to your hand, and you return the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order. Then you may place this into the battle area. So you're able to grab either an option or a Digimon, in this case, whether it's when it's blue, and place it into your hand. For its delay effect, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a blue Digimon card from your hand for its Digivolution cost, and when it would Digivolve by this effect, you reduce the cost by 2. So this is how I get plenty of plays with that BT5 Garurumon that I've been talking about. I already spoke about the Cool Boy, and the X Antibodies are pretty straightforward. As far as the Hammer Spark goes, there have been countless times where I've needed just one extra memory in this deck. Because I don't opt in for a memory tamer, that one of memory usually can make or break the game. As far as mental training is concerned, I opted to go with 3 of those instead of any memory boosts, because at the end of the day, the memory boost digs down 4. In most decks, that's what you want. You want that raw searching power. But because I have the chance to bottom deck all of my Omnimons, as well as my Ace, those are the cards I need to win the game. So digging only 2 usually gets me what I need and alleviates as many chances for me to bottom deck what I don't want to bottom deck. Now let's go ahead and get into the matches. Round 1 was against BW Greymond. So, fortunately for me, he actually hit the one of in both games. What most people don't think of is, yes, it allows you to climb faster. However, it usually, unless you have the Alteris mode, only gives you 1 set of protection. So in both of his BW Greymond stacks, I was able to swing in with the Ace, delete the BW Greymond, or attempt, he would remove the X Anybody, Digivolve for 1 into the Metal Garuru X, unsuspend, and then return it to hand. It negates the deletion effect because his Digimon is no longer in play and it doesn't actually happen. So I ended up 2-0ing that one, and then we move on to game 2. Round 2 was against Bloom Lordmon. Game 1, I did it pretty quickly, and I was afraid that he was going to crack back with the actual Quartzmon. So I was actually holding the Merciful mode in hand, ready as soon as it came out to go ahead and pop multiple bodies so he wouldn't be able to swing for game the next turn. Game 2, he ended up with a double Bloom Lord, completely blew me out. There was no coming back from that game. And then game 3, he ended up bricking, so I did win that one overall. But then into round 3. Round 3 was against Mirage. I know that game 1, I had it pretty good. Game 2, he ended up with a Mirage stack, and I mistakenly played out a Cool Boy, drew a card, and passed over turn, and that's what cost me the game. Then game 3, he cleared 2 of my stacks, and then it came down to the wire with him putting me at 1 memory, and I was able to climb all the way up, clear his board with that 1 memory. This is why the BT7 came in clutch, because I was able to clear his board and then pass turn with the Omni so that there was no way he would be able to return it, and I would be able to swing for game the following turn. I cleared out all of his security and his entire board, and then just passed with the Omnimon with 2 sets of deletion prevention and 3 sets of battle protection. Round 4 was against Crosshearts, and I remember as he sat down, he had seen me playing before, and he told me Garurumon was probably his best blue matchup. Felt kind of offended, but he turned out to be a really cool dude. He ended up clearing 3 stacks game 1 with Shoutmon Cross 7. And I still ended up winning that game. And then turn around the next game, I ended up high rolling the perfect stack and killed him on turn 3. Just came out of the gate swinging with the promo, went all the way up, took out all his security, and that was a wrap. So that was it for Crosshearts. Like I said, he came out saying that I was his best matchup, but in the end he turned out to be an amazing guy. Round 6 was against Royal Knights. Game 1, I ended up just outpacing him. He wasn't able to... Choking him to 1 every turn was preventing him from going up. The second game, I had my full stack. I had searched so much, I think I had 14 cards left in the deck and only 1 X Anybody in hand. And he cleared my stack... And he cleared my stack with Lonky, which unfortunately it made it to where I couldn't go for game, and I knew that his Omnimon was coming out next turn. So I just played Training, searched 2, grabbed a card, played Training, searched, grabbed a card, and choked him to 1. He was only able to hard cast the Omnimon out for a cost of 1, and he swung in and hit the X Antibody, which passed over to my turn. With that, I promoted the stack, Cracked the first training, went into Garurumon X. It was an ugly stack, but went into Garurumon X. Cracked the second training. Went into the BT7 for 1. Digivolved into the Where X for free. Bounced his Sistermon to hand. Digivolved into the Ace for 3. Pitched 3 cards, gained 3 memory. Swung in, pitched a card to delete his Magnamon, and then Digivolved into the Metal X to unsuspend and bounce all of his level 6, choking him to 1 with only the Omnimon in play. That was probably my best play of the entire day, and it just shows the power of the overall Garurumon clear. You're able to clear so many bodies just by Digivolving up. Round 7 was another Mirage, and oh, round 7. Just make sure that you declare everything perfectly and to a T. I ended up getting Rule Sharked game 1 because I swung in with the Omnimon X, expecting him to know that I was going to be trashing the security and going for game. But as I started picking my cards up to go to game 2, he said, "You never removed the X Anybody or the option." So I ended up checking. He flipped it over, saw what it was, which is why he called the rules check, because it bounced my stack back to hand, and ended up winning him game 1. However, game 2 and 3, I didn't use a single one of the promo Garurumons, only used my BT5, and then just stomped him another 2 rounds. So that was my Mirage in round 7. Finals was against Emperor Greymond, and the card on screen was the bane of my existence. He ended up popping every level 5 stack I put out with just that, and swinging in, doing multiple checks, and clearing for game. I have no complaints. He didn't necessarily high-rolled me, he got the better hands, played the better round, so congrats to the first place Red Hybrid winner. He definitely deserved it. He played well, and I was kind of watching him in between rounds as well. So overall, I had a blast. That was the overall deck layout and all of the rounds in tandem. If you have any questions on my picks, why I picked them, I think I explained everything to you, but feel free to hit me up on Discord at Zeekerz, Zeekerz. I'll put it down in the description if you want to talk about it. I'm just ready for Nats. It's going to be Garurumon card game again, but this time I think I will be playing the purple variant. So we will definitely see how that goes. But until next time, I'll see you on the digital plane playing the Digimon card game.